everybody that was bootlickers, the Saudis was big, not was, but they starting to get along with Iran a little while because they see boss man run off and leave you. He'll leave you in a hurry. So, yeah, everybody come around after a while. That's why we have to be patient. We have to be patient and accepting. So anybody walk through the door, we ready to go, we say, come on, join on up. I ain't no police. Say, we don't care if you was. We don't care who you are, because the wave washes everything, cleans everything up. Are there any questions or anything that about anything that was said? I asked you to overlook my jumping from one subject to another, but if you listen to it on CD or DVD, you'll see that it was all blended together. Yeah, it was all blended together. Okay. No questions, no comments?
While in Vietnam, they used human waste for their fields.
Right.
Those people, they threw nothing away.
Right.
I saw how committed. I knew we couldn't win. This is where my eyes came open concerning Boss Man.
Right. Yeah. Vietnam, China, they take, y'all throw urine away. They take a bucket of it out and pour it on the stuff, you know. And that's the way, in the future, they're going to change the way they do stuff here. Because like you say, it's waste. They pump all the waste into the ocean. They pump it into the ocean. Okay. Are there any more questions or comments? For Oakland and all that, we're going to push for a negotiated settlement. For Oakland and D.C., we really don't have time. If we have to, we'll do it. To argue with Boss Man about all this dumb stuff. But we just go for negotiated settlement. That don't mean we're going to negotiate everything away. It's going to be a high charge because he has not been that nice. In fact, Boss Man has been a bad boy. I have to say that. He's been a bad boy. And a long time. So that's where we are now. If there's no questions or comments, again, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we ask Allah to continue the visible support of us, because nobody could stay here unless they had Allah's support. It just, I haven't seen it, and I wouldn't expect it. And that we keep kindness, optimism, and humor. That we keep that, because we believe that that's been the calling card. Yeah. Nothing like kindness, nothing like optimism, you know. And all those things that change other people, we thank Allah for allowing us not to be changed by our environment, but for us to have an opportunity to change the environment. Yeah. In other words, the environment haven't made us mad or mean, right? This has made us more confident because, see, look what Allah is doing. And the style that we use, we just make fun of Boss Man and everybody else. And it's light, you know, he don't like it, but it's a good policy to use. And it's working. It can't Well, it could, but it can't work any better than it's already working. I mean, we would be ungrateful if we wanted things to be better than it is. I mean, in other words, sure, we got to clean up this and fix that. That's all the normal stuff. But as far as stature, see, because everybody already know who we are. Everybody already, so they're just pretending. Well, I ain't never seen that nigga. I don't know what they're doing, But has anybody been here a while knows everybody around here knows us. Everybody. And even over there and over there, wherever they're at, they know who we are. And they've seen us survive. We've taught the people a lesson that they didn't have the courage or the will to even, or the idea to want to do that. And we've done it. So that part of it, as we evolve into we've done that. We thank Allah for that, because we know the Negro really, just like the old one, they don't know a whole lot, and without Allah, they wouldn't get 2 feet maximum. So, but it's good to tease old boss man, we got more sense than you, boss man, we smart. Oh, boss man, with all that stuff, you're a dummy. Boss man, with 500,000 Negroes, a billion Arabs, and all that, and we still here sitting around laughing. And you didn't use all your high-tech stuff, up in the head, you know what I mean, put the stuff in our food, and we still here laughing. This is a miracle. You have to understand it. Because our people never made it that far. Even if you talk about, what was like the big singer, Showboat, Paul Robeson. By the 60s, they had ran him crazy. They had ran him crazy. They ain't run us crazy, and we just getting started. And we've been at it technically longer than he was. If he was in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and that's just 40 years. We've been doing this for 50 years. And ain't even touching the crazy house. Well, we may like we crazy, we may play crazy, but it's just to have a good time. So we thank Allah for that. We're very appreciative. And the last thing, we pray for the believers that during this period, see, it's been a long time since the Negro had a chance to, not show off, but to be, like something. And that's the chance the people have now. Because we didn't pull it off. Let me put it like this before I close. We have pulled it off from now backwards. Boss man ain't never scared nobody. Boss man ain't never produced paranoia or discomfort or none of that. And boss man, actually, I was kind of bragging about it to my family, and I was saying it, I said it on the thing here. And right after that, they took my accounts. I told the boss, I said, I ain't been broke in 50 years. I had 40 years, something like that. Then they come messing with the accounts. This is a joke. And then after that, I just said the same thing again. And then they, you have money here. They stole that too. It ain't no big deal. Because see, they're depending on something like that because they think that's what you building your house on. That's not the foundation. The foundation is what it's always been. Yeah, no, it sounds funny. Love, L-O-V, it don't even sound right saying it, but that's where we're coming from. That's why it can't do anything. Optimism, that means anything they do, anything, you're going to turn it around to something beneficial. And that's what we do. That's why all the advice we give about speedboats, about this, about trench warfare and all that, it's always been pretty good because we do study. And this is a thing that they're not comfortable with. A Negro that could study history, battlefield tactics, and hold them in their head and use them. The biggest strategies that they have, evidently they work. Evidently we use them. But with Negro characteristics, with Negro characteristics. Now that, why? Because you're a Negro. You have to admit it. You can't sit in the mirror and say, I ain't no Negro. I ain't never seen one. I don't know what they do. You can't do that. You say, boy, look at that Negro. That's a nice Negro. And therefore, we're using the characteristics and the policies that our ancestors would have used if they would have had a chance. And they didn't, so that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to clean up the whole show, and we offer the policy to the rest of those people who appear to be Negroes, if that's what they appear to be. Because this is the first time, like Malcolm said, if you just because you're at the table don't mean you're a diner. Just because you're in the Masjid praying and telling everybody, it don't mean you're leading nothing. The people in there telling you what to do. None of the Negroes are diners. They're all being manipulated. You see what I'm saying? All the Negroes. None of them are diners but us. They're not. It's not arrogance. It's just saying what it is. We have to be realistic, whether we like it or not. That's the only way you can use what Allah's gifts, is you be sincere. So, if there's no more questions and no more comments, we just like to suggest that everybody, is that C.L. Franklin? C.L. Franklin, and it was, Meaning of Black Power. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.